Okay, thank you all for joining our Teams webinar on Sage 200 and Dynamics 365 Business Central. My name is David Curtis. I'm part of the Business Applications team here at Experience. Today, we are going to be providing you with a high-level overview of these two leading ERP systems. We have muted everyone. However, please feel free to raise any questions via the Q&A function and we'll get back to you. As far as an agenda goes, I will provide a brief intro on who we are. I will then hand over to Simon Vervaag, who is our ERP subject matter expert, and will be taking us through the presentation. So, a brief overview of Experience. We started out life over 50 years ago as early pioneers of the computing industry. Our 240 staff support over 1,200 clients and work across 6 offices in London, Gloucester, Bury St Edmunds, Great Yarmouth, Glasgow and Lisbon. Could you pop the next slide on, please, Simon? There are 5 core areas to our business, which we refer to internally as pillars. We're here today to talk to you about our ERP or accounting pillar. However, many organisations we work with aren't looking for a siloed accounting system. They're looking to centralise as many siloed data sets as possible. They want whatever ERP solution they choose to work hand in hand with their CRM processes, from marketing and lead generation right through to invoice and aftercare. They want their CRM and ERP strategy to coexist with their IT infrastructure and all of the Microsoft 365 applications already in use. Moving on to the left-hand side here, more increasingly, clients are looking to lift and shift old on-premise systems and servers into the cloud, which our cloud and managed IT teams take care of. The last pillar, which is equally as important as the others, is our cybersecurity division. We have a team of ethical hackers who monitor and protect our clients' entire IT estate, including any ERP solutions they may have. On to the next slide, Simon.
Right, thank you, David. Good morning, everybody. My name's Simon Vervaag, and I'm going to take you through a few slides about the two systems David mentioned, Sage 200 and Dynamics Business Central, or Business Central for short. So the first product we're going to discuss is Sage 200, which has been available into the UK market for over 20 years and is used by over 8,000 customers. As you can see from this infographic, Sage 200 is a modular system, and each module will deliver key elements of functionality. And these include the commercial suite, which includes stock control and order processing. We've got bill of materials for manufacturers and core financials, which underpins all of the above. Alongside the core Sage 200 functionality, there's an ISV community built up, which further extends the system, and you can see some examples here. One of the key ISV providers we work with is Sycon, who have a range of solutions all built within Sage 200. And we've got a slide in a short time that will go into more detail around that. So why Sage 200? Firstly, many customers are looking towards cloud systems nowadays. However, there's still a place for on-premise applications, especially where customers maybe don't have the fastest internet connection and where maybe large files need to be transferred. But also, where existing server infrastructure has recently been refreshed, it makes sense to maximize the investment made in that hardware. Also, many of the customers we speak to are currently using but have started to outgrow Sage 50. Sage 200 is the natural upgrade for Sage 50 and retains much of the Sage DNA, as I like to call it. This familiar look and feel certainly helps end users when it comes to learning the new system. We also have tools to migrate Sage 50 data to Sage 200. However, most customers will migrate their data via Excel, as this gives the option to tidy it up, such as deleting old suppliers or product codes, or restructuring the nominal to make better use of Sage 200's cost-sensitive departmental analysis. Another huge benefit of Sage 200 being an on-premise system is that we and you have full access to the back-end SQL database. And this opens up many reporting avenues, including connecting Microsoft SQL directly to the back-end tables, effectively bypassing Sage 200 and using products such as Power BI to deliver enterprise-level dashboards and reports. We also have available the Sage 200 Report Designer, which with a bit of user training is a fantastic tool for both you and us to build reports on the Sage 200 data. Tried and tested is tied to the familiar interface mentioned above. Sage 200 has been around as a solution for more than 20 years, and knowledge of Sage applications is fairly commonplace. Most customers I speak to either currently use or have previously used a Sage application. And the old adage, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, springs to mind, as you can be confident the Sage application can be up and running in a fairly quick timeline and will work just as you expect it to do so. As above, most of the customers we speak with have either used or currently use Sage, and this does enable quick user adoption and also helps reduce training demands as well on new staff. Tied to the on-premise nature of Sage 200, this solution offers great flexibility when a customer may require development. Our in-house developers can make and roll out quick tweaks to the system, which may be as simple as adding a new field to a form or developing whole additional areas of functionality. Sage 200 was designed with development in mind, and unlike Sage 50, all the work we do is built within Sage 200, which means it looks like it was always part of the core application. But alongside the development option mentioned, there's a mature ISV community built for Sage 200, delivering numerous tried and tested line of business apps. These include barcoding and warehousing, document scanning and management, manufacturing solutions, construction modules, project management modules, and so on. As above, all of this functionality is built within Sage 200, offering a seamless user experience and the ability to tailor your Sage system to suit your exacting requirements. The final one, more and more systems nowadays seem to only be supported by the original vendor, which whilst this can be successful, we also hear horror stories, as you have nowhere else to go if support is not up to scratch. Experience of one of nearly 60 Sage 200 business partners in the UK, and whilst it would of course never happen, if you decide to move away from Experience, there are many other business partners available who could effectively support your Sage system. This is a screenshot of the core Sage 200 user interface, and for any people on the call who have used Sage, I'm sure this will look suitably familiar. Change management is a key aspect of any system migration, and certainly having this familiar look and feel de-risks the project and ensures users can get on board with the new system in as short a time as possible. As mentioned earlier, Cycon are one of the key ISV providers for Sage, and many of the projects we sell will include one or more modules from Cycon. Cycon's offering encompasses many areas such as intercompany processing, document automation, i.e. scanning documents into Sage using OCR technology. Their commercial solutions include a comprehensive manufacturing suite with works order processing, MRP, capacity planning, and shop floor data capture, as well as barcoding and warehousing solutions. Cycon also offer their Cycon Approvals module, which offers web-based functionality for purchase requisitions, timesheet capture, invoice approval, HR, and so on. Right, we're now going to turn our attention to Business Central, Microsoft's flagship mid-market solution. A key differentiator to the Sage 200 offering is the fact that Business Central, or BC for short, is fully cloud-based and hosted on Microsoft's Azure platform, where your Outlook, Teams, OneDrive, etc. data resides. Being a Microsoft product, the integration to the wider stack of Microsoft functionality is a key feature, delivering customers a seamless flow of data between the tools many of us use day in and day out. And as you can see from this slide here, Microsoft Business Central is available on any device, so you can run it on a tablet, a phone, iOS or Android. This infographic displays the core functionality offered by Business Central. There are no modules, unlike Sage 200, but if you purchase a system, you have access to all of this functionality. But of course, you can use the elements that suit your organization. And as you can see from here, you have core finance. We can manage customers and suppliers. We've got banking with cash flow reporting. There's invoicing. There's sales and purchase order processing. We've got full inventory management with advanced warehousing. We've got a job management or project module in there. We've got approval functionality built into the system, and also manufacturing as well via assembly bombs or the more advanced production bombs and routings. So why Business Central? As touched on during this slide before, Business Central is a cloud-based system, which means there's no need for potentially costly on-premise servers and their associated support. Being cloud-based, your users can access the system from any location, which is especially important as more of us are working from home nowadays. You can also access Business Central on any device as it's compatible with phones and tablets, both iOS and Android. Business Central is evergreen. Microsoft released 2 major new versions each year, one in April and one in October. Each release adds new functionality and there's no cost or downtime to your business as the system is automatically updated by Microsoft. This means no more upgrade quotes from companies such as ourselves, and you can be confident you have all the latest functionality and are compliant from a legislative and cybersecurity standpoint. Microsoft's AI Copilot is starting to become the game changer we believed it could be. Copilot is available across Business Central, and the functionality it offers will grow with each new release. Here and today, you can use Copilot to analyze large reams of data quickly. Copilot can help with your bank reconciliations, and as we'll see in a few minutes, Copilot agents are now being developed which will automate user tasks. Business Central has very tight integration to the wider Microsoft suite. Data can be quickly exported to Excel, or we can use the Edit in Excel function to update data en masse and publish it back to Business Central. Outlook integration allows the user to view a customer's data and respond by sending a quotation or an invoice, all without leaving your Microsoft Outlook program. Data can be shared with non-finance users via Teams chat. And you have access to the Power Platform, including Power BI for easy creation of reporting dashboards, and Power Automate for building automations that connect systems together. Key to all of this is that end users can use these tools, and they're not the preserve of the IT department. Business Central functionality includes intercompany processing, approval management for master data and transactions. So that means if you had a new customer or a new product that need to be approved before it can be transacted, that can all be managed through Business Central. And approvals can deal with all transactions, be they purchase transactions, sales transactions, supplier payment runs, things like that. So you can build the checks and balances into the system. We've also got advanced warehousing. We can have true landed cost apportionment and so on. However, where the core functionality doesn't meet the customer's requirements, the Microsoft App Store offers over 1,000 apps, which include, again, things like mobile warehousing, document scanning, expense management, delivery planning, courier integration, and so on. This allows you to tailor the system to suit your exacting requirements. As part of Microsoft's twice yearly releases, new functionality is continually being added to the system, and you can see what is planned for future releases in Microsoft's published roadmap. Experience also work with a number of not-for-profit organisations, and to accommodate their requirements, we've developed a not-for-profit app within Business Central, and this app helps with gift aid, with fund management, and with future plans for improvements to budget holder reporting and purchasing controls. And as we sort of touched on the earlier slides, one of the real strengths of Business Central is that wider Microsoft ecosystem. Now with Sage 200, we can integrate with tools like Excel, and there's a sort of Outlook add-in and such like. So both systems do offer some form of integration to the wider stack. But with Business Central being a Microsoft application, it does have that much tighter integration to that wider Microsoft ecosystem. And that Microsoft ecosystem is all the tools we know, Outlook, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, things like that, which Business Central does integrate with. But then it is sort of the wider stack, which sometimes are lesser known. Things we touched upon, which like the Power Platform with Power BI reporting and Power Automate. There's the whole Copilot piece. There's the Dynamic CRM solution. So that kind of suite of applications that Microsoft makes available all works together very nicely, and you can pick and choose which elements suit your organization. And we feel it's a real sort of strength and feature of the Business Central solution. This is a screenshot of the Business Central Role Center, which is the home screen for a user. The Role Center is all about giving a user information without them needing to go and look. And this includes a list of transactions that may need review, documents awaiting their approval, and or reports or key data. We've spoken earlier about Microsoft's artificial intelligence Copilot and how we see this as a key differentiator to all of the systems on the market. And it is all about just automation, taking those manual tasks away from individuals, letting the system do those things for you, and you more than just have oversight on just okay that final step, for instance. So we really do feel that's going to be a huge game changer for ERP systems. Right, so we've sort of gone through that a bit quicker than sort of planned. Hopefully that's been of some use. I think the key takeaway from our side is we have two excellent systems we can put forward in Sage 200 and Business Central. Both definitely have their place in the world and both definitely sort of meet the requirements of our customers. And what we like to do, as I say, when we're sort of speaking with people, is put them both on the table and discuss the pros and cons of each. Now, if you do have any questions or would like any further information, please don't hesitate to put any questions in the Q&A, and also the email address is up there as well. So fire any emails across to us and we'll sort of certainly come back to you straight away. What we'll also do is send a copy of the slides and the session recording across the next day or so. And we'd just like to say thank you everyone for your time today, and hope you all have a good day, unless there's any questions.
So we do actually have a couple of questions, Simon, if we may. First one, we have an e-commerce website. Can both systems be integrated with this?
Yes, so both systems do offer integration options to e-commerce websites, and that could be an e-commerce website built on Shopify, Magento, WooCommerce. There's lots of them out there. We've also got options for people who sell on eBay and Amazon and the like. Most of the time, integrating to an e-commerce website is quick to do, as the integration platforms already have sort of connectors available. So it's just almost a bit of plug and play, and it's kind of configuring the integration to suit requirements. But sometimes they can be a bit more complex if customers have maybe specific sort of areas where maybe their customers log into the website or so on. But yeah, absolutely, both Sage and Business Central, we can integrate to e-commerce websites.
Great, thank you. The next one, does Sage 200 support multiple stock locations?
Yes, again, both of them do it. So Sage 200 and BC, Business Central, have advanced warehouse management, which includes multiple stock locations, but that's not only stock location, but we can go down to bins as well. We've got serial and batch tracking in both systems. They both have manufacturing with bills of materials, MRP, works order management, and mobile warehousing options for sort of scanning goods in and out using sort of mobile devices. And also you can issue to production through that process. For distribution businesses as well, there are various ISV solutions that can integrate sort of the warehouse function with the sales order dispatch stage. So when you actually dispatch that sales order, it can connect to a courier platform, push all the customer details. It will then print the label off automatically without kind of rekey that data in, and also pull the consignment number back into the system for letting the customer know. So yeah, very good stock control functionality for both systems.
Thank you. Question about our not-for-profit module in Business Central. What functionality is included in it?
So yeah, our business central solution is great for not-for-profits out of the box, but there was a few areas where we wanted to extend that functionality. And so what we've done, we've developed a little module within Business Central, and that adds gift aid functionality. It allows you to manage your funds, so you can have restricted and your unrestricted funds. It's got some good functionality for budget holders. A key requirement we see a lot is how can our budget holders kind of view their available spend and sort of approve transactions and so on. So we've got functionality around that. It, of course, has purchase order management. So that could be purchase requisitions going onto the system, sending them off for approval, converting to a purchase order, booking them to the funds and things like that. So all that kind of process from beginning to end, procure to pay, as is often known as. We've also got the funding and engagement functionality within CRM that can kind of connect together.
Brilliant, thank you. A question about licensing. Will I need to purchase a separate Copilot license?
So this is sort of, well, the answer is no. So Copilot functionality, if it's in relation to Business Central, is available as part of the existing Business Central license. So you don't have to pay anything extra for the Copilot. And what I mean by that is sort of analyzing the data in Business Central, using Copilot to do reconciliations and so on. So all the kind of core Copilot functionality that we've sort of discussed. The sales agent and the future purchasing agent and bookkeeping agent, so those are new functionalities coming out. We don't yet know We're hoping and assuming it will still be part of the existing license, i.e. no additional cost, but we don't know yet. So Microsoft may apply sort of a charge or an additional license for the agent functionality. So that's all to do with Copilot in and around Business Central. The kind of the wider Copilot functionality, i.e. where you use it in Microsoft Teams or Office, etc., that is paid for under a separate license. So you would need to buy that separately.
Is Business Central only available in the cloud?
So no, Business Central is available both on the cloud and also on premise. However, it is ours and Microsoft's recommendation that you go down the cloud option. There's a number of factors or a number of reasons for that statement. Firstly, not all functionality is available for the on-premise version. So you are slightly sort of limited in the areas you can do. Examples of what you don't get if you go for on-premise Business Central is you don't get the Copilot as an example. You don't get things like edit in Excel. You don't get the Teams integration. So some of those kind of nice tools that really connect Business Central to the wider world, you're losing out on if you go for the on-prem version. You also don't have access to the Microsoft App Store. So all those kind of additional line of business sort of ISV apps that are available to your sort of cloud version of BC, you can't unfortunately get for the on-prem version. The other thing to think about is upgrades. So when you're on the Business Central cloud version, it's what we call an evergreen system. So it's continue being evolved. So you get 2 major releases a year, one in April, one in October, and they're just rolled out to all cloud customers at no cost. It just happens overnight, essentially. When you're on the on-premise version of Business Central, that doesn't take place. So we would need to come in and install those upgrades, and that might require some testing and things like that. And there's essentially costs involved. That also does become a factor when customers are looking at things like Cyber Essentials accreditation, because part of that requires you to have all the latest patches and things like that on your systems. And yeah, with the on-prem version, that means a continual plan for upgrading it. The other thing to think about with on-prem is your IT team will have to manage things like data backups and have a disaster recovery plan in place as well, which when you go to the cloud version, you don't have to think about all of that because it's managed by Microsoft.
Thank you. Can all my Sage 50 data be migrated to Sage 200?
So again, yes, Sage have offered for many years a Sage 50 migration tool, which converts your Sage 50 data into Sage 200. There are some foibles with the tool. It's not perfect, so we kind of offer it with trepidation. The other thing about that tool is it converts everything as is. So there's no opportunity to sort of delete old customers, delete old stock items, restructure your anomaly or so on. It is whatever you have on Sage 50 converts to Sage 200 and you carry on where you left off. So it's a little bit limited. So our preferred route is to migrate via Excel because that gives you the most flexibility. With that, we output your data from Sage 50 into Excel files, and that by data I mean customers, I mean suppliers, I mean nominal codes and products where applicable. Once in Excel, that can all be tidied up. You can delete old suppliers, you can change codes, references, things like that. You've got complete flexibility. And then we can bring that back into import that into the new system as sort of clean data. What we'll then do is transfer the opening balance data. So you'll then see all that clean new data in the system with opening balances on there. The next question that always comes through then is what happens to my historical data, all that kind of previous data that we held in Sage 50. Now, few options there, but one thing that Sage offer is a free of charge Sage 50 historical license. So if you're moving from 50 to 200, you can get a free of charge license that will just keep your Sage 50 system running for as long as you need it. So anytime you need to go back and look, you can just go look at your old Sage 50 system for that old invoice or sale or whatever it would be.
Great. One more question. Can both systems manage purchase approvals?
So yes, again, both Business Central and Sage can manage approvals. So for Business Central, this is all part of the core application, and we can create approvals for both master data and transactional data. And that includes things like purchase quotes, purchase orders, purchase invoices, supplier payment runs. We can also do it for sales orders, sales invoices, customer credit limit changes. We can also have things like journals, changing, sort of creating a new supplier, creating a new stock item. So there's pretty good approval processes all built into Core BC. For Sage 200, on the other hand, approvals requires a third-party app from the company Cycon we chatted about earlier. It's a great module. It is a web-based system that connects to Sage, and that includes various approvals around things like entering and approving purchase orders again, purchase invoice approvals. We can also do sales order approvals through that. They also have a timesheet module and expenses in there. And there's also a bit of HR functionality as well. So a pretty good solution that kind of sits alongside and talks to Sage.
Okay, so that's all the questions. Just a quick note to reiterate our thanks to everyone for joining, and look out for the next one. Many thanks.
Thanks, everyone.